Hi there, and welcome to this bonus episode of the Gazette's Hockey Inside Out Show. I'm Stu Cowan of the Gazette, joined by my regular partners here, former Canadiens teammates and 1986 Stanley Cup champions Chris Nilan and Rick Green. Rick, you played in Montreal, you played in Washington, you've coached in LA, you've been in NHL rinks all over the place. Are Canadiens fans crazier than fans from other teams?
I wouldn't call them crazier. I just call them very demanding and excited, and just the best fans to play in front of. And obviously, the more success you have, the more exciting it gets, and the more into it they are. And I remember Nux and I coming out, whatever playoff series it was, and
the Islanders against the Islanders, we lost. Remember? And
yeah, we had them up 2-0, 84, 85. Anyways, the airport, I was just like, we lost, but the airport was full of people cheering and ranting and raving, and really special. Like, I hadn't seen that, obviously, never playing in the playoffs until Montreal, and I just enjoyed it and used it in motivation. And, you found a way to be your very best, so that, the security guards would talk to you the next day, even if you did lose. But, it's a special market. They love their hockey, obviously. And if you get on a roll and you start winning and making some good things happen, unbelievable. Whether it's people stopping you in the street, talking about certain situations, or no matter where you go, they live and breathe the Canadiens, and not crazy, but really special, and something to really experience.
Knuckles, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's crazy. Greeny was having a senior moment there. I know exactly what he said to me when we were walking out of the airport. He said, Nux, can you imagine if we ever won this freaking thing? Because of all them people that were there, and we lost out in the conference final. And then the next year, we end up winning the Stanley Cup, and it was insane when we came home at the airport. But fans, not crazy, they're passionate, right? And we've seen some of these Canadiens fans, because it's somewhat a newer fan, but it gets passed down from your parents, no question about it. But, we've seen a patient fan base, right? Mm-hmm. The last couple of years,
surprisingly patient, yeah.
Very patient, and there is no better place. I remember this year I was in there when they played Toronto, and they end up losing the game, but they scored the first 3 goals. I never heard that goddamn building so loud. I'm like, this is insane. And last night being there in the stand, everybody jumped up. I jumped. I didn't do the wave, but when they scored, I was up on my feet. I was like happy. I was right into it. It's a passionate fan base. I always say it. It's not a hockey town. It's a Habs town. And the people just love it. It's a playoff time. There's a whole different feeling in the air around here. People are upbeat. The flags on the cars, everything. Everybody, go Habs, go. And there's nothing like it. I'll be honest with you. I remember I got traded, and when I first come back, and I saw Kokanemi, they booed him last night, right? And when I got booed the first time I come back, it hurt me. These fans loved me at one point. Now they hate me. I didn't want to fucking leave, you assholes. But yeah, it was. It's a passionate fan base. They love it. And there is no better place. I don't think you go around the league and ask every player in the league, what is the best building to play in? They're going to say the Bell Center. And if they don't, well, they got hit in the head too many times.
Rick, can you imagine? I mean, it was a different world back when you guys played. Can you imagine what it's like for today's players, though, with everybody having a cell phone that takes pictures, and the guys are almost afraid to go. Like, I remember my younger days, I'd see you guys downtown all the time on Bishop or Crescent Street, and it was just a normal type of thing. You never really see guys around anymore. Can you imagine how different it is, or how difficult it might be for these guys now?
Yeah, I mean, it's the new era. The guys are probably a little bit smarter than what we were on occasion. Um, not not to
Just
say
once or twice, right?
not to say that they were we abused anything, but it's different, and the guys have to be careful. But generally speaking, the people that you do run into, whether they have a cell phone or not, are good people and good fans, and they're not trying to what I always found amusing to a certain point was people look at you, but they don't know what to say to you. Instead of just like we're just people too, right? We're ready to exchange on anything and everything if you want to ask. And they put you kind of on somewhat of a pedestal, and today's guys are probably the same thing. But I think that overall the people are respect your privacy, and they want the best for you. And you have a few exceptions, no matter where you are, but it's a special place and a special fan that follow the Habs.
Well, it's funny, right? Just think back in the day, right? Listen, guys we go to Chez Paris, or we go to Wanda's, we go to Thursday, we go to different places. Can you imagine today, guys go there, a group of guys, and there's a guy over there with a cell phone, and all of a sudden you got Caulfield, Suzuki, this one, they're sitting there, and then it's out there all over the internet. Like you can't just roam freely, and we did, and you didn't have. All we had to worry about was the coach walking in. Man, this guy, that guy, okay. But, and Big Serge knew all the doormen, Christ. He got on the phone. If he wanted to know guys are out, he'd find out. So, that's tough. I'm sure, listen, they still go out, go for dinner. There's places they go and have a couple hoodsies. But, it's probably a little less than it used to be. Again, we drinking in the 80s in the NHL was commonplace.
Knuckles, I've walked downtown with you recent years, and you still can't walk a block without getting stopped or recognized. Does that surprise you? And what's that like for you to still have that?
I guess, I think it comes obviously from fathers who talk about the old days, fathers telling their kids, and then the internet, you can watch YouTube, right? All you need one father saying, "Oh, you should have saw this guy. He was crazy, fighting everybody." Next thing they're on YouTube, and then they see you on because of my podcast, stuff like that. So there's some facial recognition, no question about it. But yeah, I think Jamie was a little more surprised. She couldn't believe when we came back here, and people still today, she's like, you haven't played hockey in how many years? And these people, it baffles her. She's like, she can't believe it, but she knows it now. And it is. It's such a passionate fan base, and people love their team. They love the players, and they always have. They always will. That's the beauty of Montreal and Quebec, and people are passionate, and they love life, and they love their Habs.
And you two guys both have Stanley Cup rings, right? And Canadiens fans never forget that. Anyway, that's it for this week's for this Hockey Inside Out Show bonus episode. I hope you all enjoyed it out there. Please like and subscribe to the Hockey Inside Out YouTube channel. Go to MontrealGazette.com/newsletters to sign up for the Hockey Inside Out newsletter. And of course, go to HockeyInsideOut.com every day, especially during the playoffs, for all the latest Canadiens news. Also, if you have a bonus question you'd like us to answer in a future bonus episode, please put it in the comments section below.